Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the amount of cleaning and organizing you need to do around the house, but just can't seem to keep up? Or maybe you found yourself tripping over clutter, worrying about falls, or just feeling like you're losing control of your living space. Well, you're not alone. Many seniors struggle with housekeeping, but here's the truth. It's much harder than it looks, and it's something that deserves to be addressed before it starts to impact your health and well-being. In this video, we'll uncover the 5 brutal truths about housekeeping for seniors that no one talks about but you need to know. From the emotional toll it takes to the safety risks that come with clutter, these realities could be preventing you from living your best, safest, and most comfortable life. By the end of this video, you'll not only have a clearer understanding of why keeping a clean home may be more challenging than you realize, but you'll also get practical tips on how to make things easier for yourself. We'll discuss ways to let go of unrealistic cleaning expectations, how to ask for help without feeling guilty, and most importantly, how to make your space work for you as you age. So stick with us, because these truths could change the way you approach housekeeping and improve the way you feel about your home. Let's dive in. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. 1. It's harder than it looks. As we journey through the years, the simple, everyday tasks that were once second nature begin to change in ways we never quite anticipated. What used to be the routine actions of a day, sweeping the floors, vacuuming the carpet, tidying up a room, now feel like monumental challenges, each one weighing heavier than the last. Tasks that were once so easy and so effortless have slowly transformed into exercises of endurance, demanding far more time, energy, and effort than we could have ever imagined. It's a deeply humbling realization when the familiar movements of daily life become sources of frustration rather than satisfaction. A simple act like dusting off a shelf or vacuuming the floor, which was once accomplished with a sense of ease, now feels like an impossible feat, stretching the body in ways it no longer feels equipped to handle. The natural flow of movement that we once took for granted is replaced with slow, deliberate steps, as we navigate the physical toll each task demands. With every bend, every stretch, every movement, there's a subtle ache that reminds us how our bodies have shifted over the years. What once took minutes now stretches into what feels like an eternity, as our arms grow tired, our legs grow sore, and our energy is drained long before the task is even close to being finished. This stark contrast between the past and present can create a growing sense of frustration, both with our environment and with ourselves. The tasks that once brought a sense of accomplishment now often leave behind a deep sense of defeat, as we struggle to keep up with the demands. Housekeeping, a chore we once performed mindlessly, becomes an overwhelming task that we may dread more and more. The mere thought of bending down to pick up a stray object or stretching to reach a shelf can ignite a wave of anxiety, as we wonder if the action will result in a painful twinge or, worse, a fall. For many seniors, it's easy to underestimate the physical demands that come with even the most routine of tasks. Cleaning products, which once seemed innocuous, become sources of worry. The harsh chemicals in many cleaning products can aggravate the skin, eyes, or lungs, especially as our bodies become more sensitive with age. Using a heavy vacuum that once glided smoothly across the floor now feels like pushing a weighty anchor that drags us down. Lifting a laundry basket or carrying groceries can suddenly become a Herculean feat, leaving us gasping for breath or struggling with aching joints. The repetitive strain of these tasks begins to add up, resulting in exhaustion that permeates every part of the day. A body that once moved effortlessly through these actions now groans in protest, feeling the weight of every movement. The toll is not just physical. It is emotional, too. There's a quiet sense of loss that accompanies the recognition that the body is no longer as strong or capable as it once was. This emotional burden can be just as overwhelming as the physical one, as we are forced to confront the passage of time and the limitations that come with it. Many seniors find themselves feeling isolated in this struggle, as they are hesitant to ask for help or admit that they can no longer keep up with what used to be the simplest of tasks. There is an unspoken pride in managing our own homes, in maintaining independence and self-sufficiency. But when every task becomes a struggle, when the thought of bending over or lifting becomes daunting, there is a deep sense of frustration and helplessness. It's not just about the physical strain, it's about the mental exhaustion that comes from constantly trying to keep up with expectations that have shifted but have not been acknowledged. It's about the emotional toll that arises when we realize that our bodies, once reliable and strong, can no longer bear the load of those daily duties without struggle. It can feel as if the very essence of self-worth is tied up in the ability to care for our homes, to keep them neat, to maintain a semblance of control. But as the physical demands of housekeeping continue to escalate, the sense of powerlessness grows, leaving behind feelings of frustration, fatigue, and, at times, profound loneliness. The tasks that once represented our ability to care for ourselves and our families now represent an emotional and physical battle, leaving us wondering if it's time to ask for help, or worse, if we've already lost the strength to ask at all. This emotional complexity is further amplified when we consider the risks of these activities. As we age, even the simplest movements, like lifting an item off the floor or climbing a stepladder, can carry a hidden danger. The risk of a fall becomes very real, and the recovery from a small injury takes far longer than it used to. A once minor cut can turn into something more serious, and a muscle strain can result in weeks of pain and immobility. The house that was once our sanctuary now becomes a place of constant, quiet anxiety. The weight of every task, every movement, becomes a reminder that we are no longer the people we once were. In the face of these challenges, it's vital to acknowledge and understand the emotional toll this shift can take. The simple act of maintaining our home can feel like an insurmountable mountain, and yet, it's one that many seniors continue to climb, even when the summit seems too far out of reach. The fatigue, the frustration, and the quiet struggle are often invisible to others, leaving many to endure these difficulties in silence. But it is essential to recognize this reality, not as a weakness, but as a testament to the strength and resilience that we continue to carry within us, even when the body no longer responds in the same way. 2. Clutter isn't just unsightly, it's dangerous. Clutter is not merely a superficial inconvenience. It's a silent, insidious threat that creeps into our lives, often unnoticed, but with consequences far beyond its visual impact. While many see it simply as a mess, clutter harbors dangers that can severely undermine both our physical safety and our emotional well-being. As we grow older, we experience changes in our bodies that can no longer be ignored. Our balance, our coordination, and our mobility all begin to fade. What used to be a familiar, comfortable environment can suddenly feel treacherous. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. The scattered remnants of a life well lived, such as piles of forgotten newspapers, unruly stacks of magazines, or rugs that once brought warmth now pose a significant danger. These simple, everyday items, once harmless, become hidden landmines, waiting to trip us up when we least expect it. A misstep on an untidy floor could send us tumbling, resulting in injuries that could alter the course of our lives forever. These falls don't just cause physical pain. They chip away at our independence, robbing us of the confidence to move freely in the space we've always called our own. But the true danger of clutter is not confined to its physical risks. The emotional toll it takes on our psyche is profound. Our homes are meant to be a sanctuary, a place where we can relax, recharge, and feel safe. However, when clutter takes hold, it transforms our personal space into a battleground. It's as if the weight of every disorganized item presses down on us, clouding our thoughts and draining our energy. It becomes more than just a mess. It's an invisible burden that follows us wherever we go, always reminding us of the tasks we've neglected, the promises we've broken to ourselves, and the overwhelming chaos that seems to multiply with every passing day. The sight of a cluttered room doesn't just cause a momentary frustration. It ignites a constant low-level anxiety, a nagging feeling that we are falling behind in life, that we're losing control of the environment we've worked so hard to create. The clutter seeps into our mental space, making it harder to think clearly, breathe deeply, or find the serenity we so desperately need. It becomes a constant reminder of unfinished business and a lack of order in our lives, creating a ripple effect that touches every aspect of our well-being. Amid this chaos, it becomes nearly impossible to foster a sense of peace or calm. Instead of feeling at ease in our home, we begin to feel trapped in a space that no longer serves as a refuge but as a source of stress and unrest. The sanctuary we once cherished becomes a source of tension, where we find ourselves overwhelmed by the sheer volume of things that don't belong, each item a symbol of unfinished tasks or forgotten memories. We may feel like we're losing ourselves, drowning in the clutter that was once so innocent. Yet, in this struggle, there is a way forward. By reclaiming our space, by reducing the clutter that stifles both our bodies and minds, we can restore not just our safety, but our sense of peace, order, and emotional equilibrium. A tidy home is more than just a pleasant environment. It is a reflection of self-respect, of knowing that we deserve a safe, serene place to live, to breathe, and to thrive. It is a vital step toward reconnecting with ourselves and with the peaceful, centered life that we deserve, no matter how old we are. 3. The cleaning standards you once had may no longer be realistic. The cleaning standards that once governed every corner of your home, the ones you once upheld with pride and diligence, may no longer serve you in the same way they once did. For so many years, you may have found joy in making sure that every surface gleamed, every floor was swept to perfection, and every room exuded a sense of order and serenity. Your home was a reflection of your care, a place where you could find peace and a sense of accomplishment. The effort you put into creating that picture-perfect space gave you purpose and made you feel in control of the chaos of life. But as time passes, it's only natural for your energy and priorities to shift. The pressure to keep up those exacting standards can become more than just physically demanding. It can weigh heavily on your heart, filling you with guilt and stress when you can't maintain the same level of cleanliness that once felt like second nature. In this stage of life, it's crucial to come to terms with the fact that those old expectations, however comforting and familiar they may have been, are no longer realistic. You no longer need to exhaust yourself striving for perfection. Instead of chasing an idealized version of a home that has been shaped by outside pressures or images from magazines, allow yourself the grace to acknowledge that a little dust on the shelf or a few dishes left in the sink don't diminish the beauty or worth of your life. They remind you that you're human, that you have limits, and that's okay. The pursuit of a pristine home, while once a source of pride, is no longer necessary for your sense of self-worth. Let go of the expectation that your living space must meet a certain standard to be good enough. What truly matters, what truly nourishes your soul, is not perfection. It is the peace you feel within the walls you call home. A clean, safe, and comfortable environment is all you need. A home that invites rest, fosters your well-being, and reflects the love and memories you've built over the years. Embrace the fact that the clutter or imperfections are just part of the beautiful, authentic life you've lived. They don't define your value or your happiness. Letting go of the relentless pursuit of cleanliness will open up space, both physically and emotionally, for the things that truly matter: moments of joy, connections with loved ones, and the deep sense of contentment that comes from living in the present, without the pressure to perform or measure up to unrealistic standards. The dust may settle, and the dishes may pile up occasionally, but that's not what will be remembered. What will stay with you are the moments spent enjoying the comfort of your space, the conversations shared around the table, the laughter that echoes through the rooms, and the warmth you've created by simply being present in the life you've built. Allow yourself the freedom to focus on what truly enriches your heart, and in doing so, you'll find that your home becomes a sanctuary once again. Not because it's perfect, but because it's yours. 4. You might need help, but asking for it can be tough. As we age, a powerful desire to retain our independence often becomes one of our most cherished principles. It's a quiet, persistent strength, an unspoken promise to ourselves that no matter the years that pass, we will manage, we will endure, we will stand tall and take care of ourselves. For years, we've navigated life's challenges with resilience and determination. We've handled every task, from the mundane to the overwhelming, with a sense of accomplishment, keeping everything within our grasp. We've done it all. The pride in that self-sufficiency becomes woven into the fabric of our identity. The thought of asking for help can seem like a loss, like an admission that the strength we once relied on has begun to wane. It's a humbling experience, one that can stir up feelings of vulnerability, frustration, and even sorrow. This desire to maintain control, to hold on to that sense of autonomy, is deeply ingrained in us. It's not just about managing our homes or our finances. It's about maintaining our dignity, not burdening others, about feeling like we still matter and still have something to contribute. There's a profound fear that by asking for assistance, we'll be seen as less capable, as a burden, as someone whose usefulness has diminished. This fear can hold us back, making it so difficult to open up to those around us and admit that we need help. But the reality is that no matter how fiercely we try to retain our independence, there comes a time for most of us when certain tasks become too overwhelming to handle on our own. Housekeeping, something that once seemed so simple, can become a monumental challenge. Sweeping the floor, washing dishes, dusting the shelves, or simply keeping up with the laundry, these everyday tasks can start to feel insurmountable as we age. It's not that we're not capable or that we've lost our worth. It's simply that our bodies change, and the energy we once had can no longer carry us through every task with the same ease. The emotional toll of this realization can be significant. We may feel a pang of sadness, a sense of helplessness, or even shame. It's hard to face the fact that we can no longer do it all on our own. But here's the crucial truth. There is no shame in needing help. The willingness to accept support, whether from family, friends, or professional cleaners, is an act of incredible courage and strength. It's a recognition that we deserve to live with less stress, less worry, and more peace of mind. Asking for help isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of self-respect. It means we are permitting ourselves to prioritize our well-being, to acknowledge our limits, and to allow others the opportunity to be there for us, just as we have been there for others over the years. When we open ourselves to accepting help, we create space for less burden and more joy. It's not about being less of who we are, but rather about recognizing that life doesn't have to be a solitary journey. The strength we once used to take care of everything can now be channeled into embracing the support that will ease our burdens and enhance our quality of life. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Whether it's asking for help from a loved one or hiring a professional to take care of the tasks we can no longer manage, the gift of accepting assistance can bring profound relief. It allows us to focus on what truly matters: our health, our relationships, our happiness. It's in these moments of vulnerability that we discover true emotional resilience, the ability to embrace change, release the grip of pride, and step into a future where we no longer carry every weight alone. By accepting help, we open the door to a life that is lighter, brighter, and filled with more love and connection. And that, in itself, is one of the most powerful gifts we can give ourselves. 5. Housekeeping can affect your mental and emotional well-being. Living in a cluttered, disorganized, and unkempt environment can silently and profoundly erode your mental and emotional well-being. At first, it may seem like a minor inconvenience, but over time, the effects are insidious and devastating. The overwhelming presence of disarray can weigh heavily on your heart and mind, creating a constant undercurrent of stress that makes it difficult to feel at peace in your own home. For seniors, the inability to maintain the same level of cleanliness and orderliness that once came so naturally can trigger feelings of deep helplessness, frustration, and sorrow. What was once a sanctuary of comfort and calm may start to feel more like a battleground, chaotic and unwelcoming. The sight of dust gathering on countertops, piles of clutter in every room, and an overwhelming sense of disorganization can amplify feelings of shame and inadequacy. These emotions are often intensified by the fear that, with time, we are losing the ability to manage the simplest tasks of daily life. For many seniors, this physical mess becomes a symbol of deeper emotional turmoil. A messy home can evoke a sense of sadness and powerlessness, leading to feelings of hopelessness. It's easy to slip into the belief that, as we age, our physical and mental capabilities are slipping away from us, too. The inability to keep a clean, tidy house can bring with it an overwhelming sense of loss, not just of the pristine spaces we once maintained, but of our independence and sense of control over our own lives. The emotional burden can feel unbearable, and it may seem like there's no way to reclaim what was once ours. This sense of emotional weight often comes with an unintended consequence: isolation. For many seniors, the thought of having friends or family over to visit becomes a source of anxiety. They may feel embarrassed, ashamed, or even humiliated by the state of their home. The idea of inviting others in feels impossible because it's no longer a place of pride. The fear of judgment or rejection can make seniors retreat further into themselves, preferring the quiet solace of their cluttered environment rather than risking exposure. And yet, this isolation only deepens the cycle. Without the social connection that comes from visitors or the help of others, seniors can find themselves feeling more and more disconnected and alone. But here's the remarkable truth. The act of regularly cleaning and organizing can create a transformative shift in both emotional and mental health. The simple act of tidying up, even if it's just one small area at a time, can be incredibly empowering. It offers a sense of accomplishment and autonomy that fosters emotional resilience. The ability to restore order to even the smallest corner of your home can ignite a spark of joy, purpose, and pride. What once seemed like an overwhelming task now becomes a series of manageable steps that help you regain a sense of control. As the home begins to feel cleaner and more organized, it's not just the physical space that changes, it's the emotional atmosphere that transforms. A tidy, clean home can feel like a breath of fresh air, creating a sense of peace and balance that nourishes the soul. The clutter that once symbolized chaos and stress now gives way to calm and clarity. Each small victory, clearing a countertop, organizing a drawer, or simply putting away clutter, brings a sense of relief, even joy. You begin to feel more comfortable in your own space, and more proud of the environment you've created. This sense of ownership and control can extend beyond the physical space. It nurtures your emotional well-being, lifting your spirits and helping you feel more in charge of your life. More importantly, the act of keeping your space organized fosters social connection. As your home becomes a space you feel proud to share, it opens the door to inviting others in, whether it's family, friends, or even neighbors. The sense of isolation that once seemed so suffocating can be replaced with a renewed feeling of inclusion and belonging. You're no longer burdened by the fear of judgment. Instead, you can bask in the warmth of companionship and the shared joy that comes from having loved ones visit your home. A clean and organized environment offers much more than just physical comfort. It is a mental and emotional sanctuary. It reminds you that even in times of transition, aging, or change, you still have the power to create a space that fosters peace, happiness, and connection. It is an anchor in the storm, offering stability and a steady reminder that you are capable, resilient, and worthy of a space that brings you peace. In this simple act of care, you can find a deeper sense of purpose, boosting your overall sense of well-being and emotional health. As we wrap up, take a moment to reflect on everything we've explored today. We've learned how deeply our environment can impact our mental and emotional well-being, especially as we age. From the emotional toll of living in clutter to the powerful transformation that regular cleaning and organizing can bring, it's clear that our homes are not just physical spaces, they're reflections of our mental and emotional health. Now, I want to hear from you. What has stood out to you the most in today's video? What is one thing you've learned that you will bring into your own life and practice going forward? I'd love to hear your thoughts and reflections in the comments below. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support means the world to us.